One, two, one, two. Welcome back to GyapTooth. This is your host, Azeem. Happy to be back. Took a little bit of a trip. Seen a few places. The Bay Area is on crutches. The freaks don't come out only at night anymore. They're the only ones out. I got love, but I hear it's going down in the town. Oakland, they can't drown the black and the brown, because the vibes and the energy is still there. So I hear it's going down in the town still. Shout out Oakland, one of the leading revolutionary cities of our country. Yeah. I was going through my iTunes and I found a Marley Marl remix of Zeph and Azeem song, Come One, Come All. And it's a Marley Marl remix, and I'm listening to him like, oh man, maybe I played it in the intro. But the original song it's Come One, Come All, and the vocals begin with question. When's the last time you touched essence reflected 3 minutes and some seconds? Who are these rap cats you repping? Is there starch in they flag? When's the last time you checked it? So when I heard Marley Marl was doing the remix, I'm like, oh, it's a Marley Marl beat produced remix? Like, give me a day, hold up. So I rewrote the whole song because I wanted to just have my own song produced by Marley Marl. Like, I didn't want just a remix, So they're two separate songs with the same chorus, kind of. So on the other song, the first one opened up question. So the other song I opened up with answer. It's been a while since these anthems blast through the speakers, fists like Black Panthers. So yeah. So I found that and I was like, wow, started remembering all of these things, regarding the music business. First of all, press like and subscribe right now. I know a lot of you are listening and you don't press like or subscribe. We appreciate it. It helps us. Leave a comment, even if you like. Just go ahead and cuss me out and I'll bless you for it.
And then donate.
LSD, like, subscribe, and donate. Yeah, LSD. So, I don't know what I was talking about, but with the music business, so many memories, I remember one time, you listening to me, or you and me, I talked to you. Hey. Yeah, okay. So,
yeah.
all right. You moving your lips like you're looking like you're doing a makeup commercial. I remember, you get to a club and you're like, you guys are the opening act and the headlining act is here, but they didn't have the dressing rooms labeled yet. So we walked in and, we just walked into the first room like, oh, okay, this room looked empty. This must be our dressing room. And, because the thing is, each band has their own list of catering of needs. Like every show we come to, we need these things in our dressing room. So everybody's got their own thing. Some people, we want, it's usually the same stuff, sandwiches and drinks and, cashew and them things like that. And, those stuff. Some people want candy and blah, blah, but some people want a certain type of food, Jamaican food or Indian food or whatever it is, You put that on your thing. So this is why dressing rooms are so important, so they know whose room to put what in. So we go into a room, it's empty, so we figure that's our room. But you know me, one of my middle name is Find It, and we walk in, and there's this big brown big brown paper bag in the middle of the floor, just big brown plastic bag, paper bag. So I walk up, I open the big brown paper bag, and it's full of, at the time, illicit marijuana. So I'm like, oh, I just found a big bag of weed. So I'm like, hey, yo, we got to go. I'm gonna go out to the car. I forget what. No. Ken or somebody. I had somebody there who was with us, and I was like, "Ayo," and I passed it off to him, and he left and took it, to the spot. He left. Came back later. So then we did our sound check and we left. Somewhere in there, we found out that wasn't our dressing room. It was Cutmaster Kurt's dressing room. Cutmaster Kurt, shout out Cutmaster Kurt if anybody tells you to hear this. Because I heard somebody got fired over this. But look, by the time I found out that it was Cutmaster Kurt's weed, we had already sent it out. Calling it back was just, I don't know, And then I guess they blamed the security guard or somebody got fired for that. Feel really bad. Somebody called Cutmaster Kurt and let him know, Azeem, my bad. Then, all right, what about anybody out there, if you've ever seen a documentary, there's a documentary out there about Fishbone. Eternal Sunshine, Everyday Sunshine. Can you Google it for me right now? Fishbone documentary. Okay. Fishbone documentary. Everyday Sunshine, I believe, is the name of it. My man, Kendall, who I'm living with in this warehouse out in Cali.
Everyday Sunshine.
Everyday Sunshine. It's one of the, if you are a fan of the scene of music, late 80s, early 90s, underground alternative music, watch this documentary called Everyday Sunshine. It's about Fishbone, but the footage of all the bands and groups from the era is all in there, and even interviews of them. So my man, Kendall from Fishbone, original member, tells me about this documentary's coming out and come with him to see it. Him, his girl, a couple other people. So I'm like, oh, dope. You know what I'm saying? Definitely. I've met Angelo before, So we go to see this documentary. Anybody who sees the documentary knows what I'm about to try to describe, And shout out my brother Kendall. Like, this is just what happened. It's a memory, Sitting there in the theater with him, and this is the opening, like one of the main openings of this documentary. The other members of Fishbone are there. Documentary opens up of how they got together and what good friends they were from boyhood, and they created this band before any of them even knew how to play instruments, and how brilliant Kendall was, and how much of an integral part of songwriting he was to the group. And then they turn around and then he turned on us and snitched and called and was telling the DA and trying to get us put in prison for kidnapping. And I'm sitting next to this guy like, is this real? Like, what? Because I love Fishbone. I grew up, I love Fishbone. Love Fishbone to death. If you see Fishbone live, if you don't know what I'm talking about, watch this documentary, because you'll see every band from the early 90s, whether it was Gwen Stefani or whatever the little meat-headed dude with his head turned backwards, all those live groups all said, who? Fishbone. Red Hot Chili Peppers? Red Hot Chili Peppers are a miggly down surfer version, Hollywood heroin version of Fishbone. If there was no Fishbone, half of these groups would not even exist. So I loved Fishbone. Because remember now, I had my brother's fake ID. I used to use my brother's ID. When he turned 21, I'd use his ID. But also in Miami, we had fake IDs. My man he made a life-size version of the Florida driver's license. Life-size version of everything, the seal, everything. So all you have to do is stand next to it with the right color background, take a Polaroid picture, and when you cut it out, it looked exactly like everything was proportioned. It was the most brilliant invention ever known to man. So we were in the clubs, and the only clubs that were like wild, you know, we went to the wild punk rock clubs because you could mosh, you'd be in the mosh pit. I was in the mosh pits at 16. Bucking on skinheads and all of that, like no fear, like loving it, just letting all your aggression out, you know? So Fishbone, all of that, Fishbone, 24/7 Spies, you know? I saw Jane's Addiction before they were even big. I saw so many of those groups as a kid, or Minor Threat, as a kid. Not really even there watching the music that much, just there running around and bucking people. And but anyway, yeah, it's funny when you look back how much you're a part of music and movements and stuff when you're younger, or whatever art it is. It might be dance. Like my daughter's little sister has been a dancer all her life, pretty much. She doesn't realize now, like she knows all the little TikTok dance, every named dance or version or all that stuff you can come up with, all that stuff. She knew all of them from day one. So she doesn't realize she's part of like a culture and a movement sort of thing until she gets older and looks back and goes, wow, like I was a part of all of these things. So that's how I feel when I look back at music, because I feel that way about hip hop and like, I don't even want to call it punk rock because I don't like that terminology nowadays. But you know, like hardcore underground, you know, suburban, no, hardcore underground music, you know, rebellious music. You know, I was in all of that. So I love music. So sitting in this movie and watching some of my heroes point to the guy I'm sitting next to and saying, man, if it was, you know, he ruined without him, you know, like he killed the movement. He killed everything. We were about to be the biggest black rock group on the planet, and then this guy flipped on us, and you know, we just never recovered from it. It's literally what it like the whole documentary just becomes about him. The whole documentary goes from yeah, this, that, and we were all friends, we were and then this guy turned on us. So, and so speaking of even that, like, you know, doing this GyapTooth thing, people press like, share, and subscribe. Yes. What's the D stand for? Oh, donate. You donate too. Donate. But you know, doing this thing, I'm looking at it and I'm realizing that people don't even, I forgot that people don't realize that I had over a million views on YouTube before. I had videos that were 300,000 views, 100,000 views, 200,000 views. I had a gang of videos that were hundreds of thousands of views. The majority of them were hundreds of thousands of views. What happened? I didn't control my own page. And the guy who I trusted did some type of, you know, 180, and I don't know, he went and lived in a swamp. I don't know what, I don't know. But for whatever reason, this dickhead took down the page with over a million, maybe even more than a million views, to the point where I could actually have sponsorship right now, just starting, based on the numbers that I had. But now I look like I'm somebody who's been ignored and nobody knows who I am. And that, you know, God is the best of planners. It's a beautiful thing to have you ever made yourself broke? I know you haven't. I've done it plenty of times, because there's like a magic in building yourself up out of that. When you stop and say, damn it, wait a minute. I have to get out of this. This isn't right. I got to get out of this. I got to fix it. And you start applying your mind and you start to focus it like a magnifying glass focuses on sunlight, and that fire starts to light, and a ball starts rolling. And one thing leads to another, and you look up and you're like, wow, I pulled myself up out of that. It's such a good feeling. I think sometimes I've self-sabotaged myself just to do it over again. You know? So I don't mind where I'm at right now. This is GyapTooth. I love GyapTooth. If it was another thing, I might not be here. My man Ahmed, shout out Ahmed, he told me it's like a secret passcode, knowing how to spell GyapTooth, because if you don't know how to spell it, you'll never find it. I don't know, maybe he was dissing me, I don't know. But he said it like a compliment. So, you know, I don't know. So the guy took the thing down, you know? So it's good. You always have to, you know, honor people and build relationships and bridges. But at the same time, you have to control your own thing, you know? Even with relationships, have you noticed lately, everything is about relationships? Like people are entertainment, not like movies and stuff. That's always been about, you know, emotions. But I mean, like just the kind, like the Kevin Samuels and all these people like that now, like who deal with relationships professionally, you know, and give advice and things like that on relationships, you know. And being somebody who has, you know, spent a lot of time, you know, contemplating the subjects, and I'm the youngest of 8 kids, you know, so I've 5 of them girls, 5 sisters. So I've learned a lot and I've seen a lot. So, you know, I thought real hard about it, and I think that when it comes to giving advice on relationships, I'll say this, and I hope that it sticks with anybody listening. Don't come to me for any advice about relationships. Not a lick, because I'm liable to just, I'm gonna send you on I'm gonna say something old school that a modern philosophy more than likely won't agree with. So if you are amongst ones who embrace, who are here we go. Let me just say, just don't come to me for relationship advice, because I do divorces. Come to me when you're ready for a divorce. We can all make some money. You don't have to pay them people that charge like $2,500. Give me a G, I got y'all. I don't recommend divorce. I don't recommend divorce, especially if you have children and everything. Work it out. Just, you know, figure it out. I don't know, like 3Z, well, I don't know. But if it must be so, I could do the divorce for you. So contact me. I did my own. Yes. And we are still great friends to this day. And I'm raising a stunt double. So we have a business. Yeah. And even when it comes to like people's, what do they call them? Provocatives? No. Persuasions? No, what do they call them? It starts with a P. That's my prerogative.
Politically correct way to say it now. Prerogative.
Persuasion, whatever your choice. Anyway, whatever your persuasion prerogatives of whatever, like, look, here's the thing. Let's just be real, all right? If I go to a 5-star restaurant, right, and I see the plaque on the wall, like, got 5-star Michelin chef. He's a Michelin chef. He's got the stars, he's got the plaque. He's got all the plaques on the wall with the newspaper write-ups, and he's got his arm around the mayor, and they're smiling, and the mayor's got, you know, and I see that. I don't care where or how or with whom he has orgasms. How he has orgasms, I don't give a flying fuck. I don't want to know, as a matter of fact. I literally don't want to know. Nor do I care who he voted for. The only thing I care about is my souffle properly souffled? Squirrel paws, dog paws, whatever. The Brontosaurus burger is at the right temperature. That's all I care about. I don't care. I don't care who, you know, I mean, I don't want no like voodoo stuff going on around my salad or nothing like that. Don't be like calling Baal and Moloch into my salad. Then okay, like, but I haven't seen any reports of that. So I'm gonna pretty much assume they're not doing that, right?
Yeah.
So why is everybody so sensitive? I would love to have well, you can't have a reasonable conversation with a racist because racism is unreasonable. But I would love to have a mind to mind, everything on the table conversation with a racist person. But they're too scared. Or, you know, there's just no proper, with people, like we should be able to talk about politics without being like, oh, you don't think like me. So therefore, I don't want to deal with you. Like, that's so childish and corny. God forbid we all begin to think alike and see everything alike. Embrace your identity, embrace whatever it is, whatever the multi-leveled layers of your identity are. We put ourselves about, I'm a this, that. Fool, do you know how many yous there are? Do you know how many yous there have been? Do you know how many yous there will be if you are to live a long age? There's so many yous in that cluttered fucking head of yours, pardon my language. And you just want to hold up one, and every day is that mask. It's not true. We can let it go. It feels good. Let it go. And at the same time, by doing that, embrace your individuality. We all got the different fingerprints. We all got the different fingerprints. We're not supposed to be the same. You know, we just not. It's not beautiful like that. Variety is the spice of life. That's what's beautiful. So, in that, hire yourself, take whatever it is about yourself that you know is good and powerful, that helps you be a positive thinker or a co-creator, whatever it is you make or you know that can produce, whatever it is about you that makes you unique, mold that into something and own it. And I'm gonna leave you with this one prayer that I learned from Napoleon Hill that has brought me through this whole pandemic and put me on a whole course of something that I've been waiting all year to announce, but we're perfecting it. So the prayer is, dear God, I'm not asking for anything extra. I'm only asking for the treasures that you gave me at birth. I want access to the treasures I was given already at birth, and I want the wisdom and able to use them to achieve my goals. Thank you, and amen, or however you want to end it. You don't, God, I'm not saying, please, give me this, give me that. No, that falls short. Give me what you've all, I just want access to what I forgot. Or they scared it out of me. You know, whatever it is, give me access to that. And I promise you, if you make that dua, that supplication sincerely, you will download information that will really help boost your morale and your day and your month and your year. And as time goes like this, you're going to be on it the same way we on it. This is GyapTooth, one heart, one love, one God, one aim, one destiny, one blood. Peace and love. GyapTooth. Bim!